after National Guard troops reported FEMA disaster recovery efforts were forced to be temporarily halted in North Carolina after the agency said it received several reports of threats being made against their teams on the ground. In one county, FEMA workers had to stop work after National Guard troops reported seeing armed militia threatening them nearby. CNN's Isabel Rosales has the latest on this. What's happening here?
Kate, good morning. Certainly a very serious situation that has actually forced FEMA workers, out of an abundance of caution, to work out of secure locations instead of going door to door to those deeply impacted areas of Western North Carolina to get people the help that they need. This was first reported on by the Washington Post, stating that National Guard troops witnessed armed militia making threats against FEMA workers. Now, of course, we don't know if that threat is credible. We have put out a call to FEMA to try to get more information about that, but we've had two communities that have been impacted by these threats. That's Ashe and Rutherford counties, with the sheriff of Ashe County saying this. He urged residents to, quote, stay calm and steady during our recovery, to help folks, and please don't stir the pot. And of course, Kate, this comes amid a backdrop of misinformation that has been circulating about the federal response to Milton and Helene. This has deeply upsetted many local officials that I've spoken with, not just in North Carolina, but Florida too, because this is taking up the resources that could be used toward recovery. And instead, they're online on social media telling people, hey, this is false information. Don't believe this. So this is taking up a lot of their time. Also forcing FEMA to actually open up a section of their website called the Hurricane Rumor Response section to, again, try to bat down all of this misinformation, Kate.
And Isabel, you were in Florida last week covering the Hurricane Milton for us. What are you hearing in terms of the latest recovery efforts there?
Yeah, it's a long task ahead for recovery in Florida, specifically because they're still dealing with all of this flooding. There's flooding warnings for major rivers, Hillsborough River. You also have Then you also have other rivers there that have been flooding. We've seen the recovery happening around the area, with Sheriff Chad Chronister saying that unfortunately the waters are not receding as much as they would like. This is leading to a lot of deputies trying to help out people there. Then you've got fuel. You've got hard hit areas like Tampa and St. Petersburg seeing 3/4 of gas stations without fuel, to the point that the state is stepping in, leading escorts of the fuel tankers, and also opening up fueling stations where people can get up to 10 gallons of fuel for free, to try to help them turn the page on this. We also have some sound on this. Let's listen.
So much damage was already done. There was less for Milton to do. But again, just the stress level, it takes a toll.
But getting all of this stuff out of the street, all of the reminders of everything that was ruined, I think is really going to go a long way towards everybody in the community feeling like they can really move on.
Yeah, and that debris, Kate, is certainly a big priority. Governor DeSantis said as such. This is happening around 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to remove all of that, specifically Helene debris, out of the way, because these are flying projectiles, extremely dangerous, and we're not out of hurricane season yet.
Yeah. Isabel, thank you very much.
And we have seen the power that misinformation has had in the wake of Hurricane Helene. But now that false information surrounding FEMA has taken a disturbing turn. If you haven't heard about this, listen up. 8 operations in Rutherford County, North Carolina, were suspended on Saturday after National Guard troops saw armed militia members threatening FEMA workers. In an urgent email to federal agencies obtained by the Washington Post, these militia members, the troops, quote, had come across 2 trucks of armed militia saying they were out hunting FEMA as a result.
Alrighty, let's see if I can find it. Let's go to 2nd Ezra's. If I can find it. Where was it at? I seen it a minute ago. Yeah, let's go get it. Salakia. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay, so all of what's going on now in North Carolina, people are getting sick and tired of the bullshit. Can't really say it's a blame. You know. Of course, I had to go outside because, you know, my daughter and her husband got up. You know, we had unfortunately had to do a couple of moves. You know what I mean? Because money got kind of funny, right? Anyway, yeah. You know, on TikTok and other videos, a lot of different individuals have been reporting of not getting any responses from FEMA concerning cadavers and other deleted or deceased individuals floating around in the water after Storm Helene came through. That's been on TikTok for the last, week, 2 weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. And, okay, and then plus in addition, you have, you know, Milton just happened, and you're going to run into the same type of problem, you know. So, yeah. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right? So that's basically what's going on. The course of their actions are standing in their power. There's no, I mean, if FEMA emergency response crews, and they're supposed to be having the National Guard to back them up. They were stating that Donald Trump stated, along with Elon Musk last week in the news, that they've been trying to get supplies into Helene and in the Milton areas, or you know, the damaged areas in Florida, in Ashe and Rutherford County, where it's been hardest hit, and haven't been able to get through because they were turned back by FEMA military troops. Right, that's in the news last week. Okay, so I mean, the people are getting fed up with the bullshit. Okay, they're trying to maximize maximum deletions and maximize damage, you know, uncontrolled as much as possible in order to for the people to fall out. You know what I mean? And it's ridiculous, but this is what the United States government is doing to the people, and there are no funds in the FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency pot, because they gave all the money to the illegal migrants. The migrants are coming over here buying houses, cars, brand new trucks. I can vouch for that. They're building a goddamn house, brand new house. They bought the corner lot that's been empty for years, okay? And now they're building a brand new 5-6 bedroom house with a full basement and 3-car garage down the fucking street, man. So, I mean, whatever the government or the mainstream media is telling you, they're lying to your face, okay? They gave the funds to the illegal migrants. Now, I'm a witness to it. They're down the street building houses, brand new fucking houses. They don't speak a lick of English. Where are they getting the material from? Okay, you know, you've got trucks with the materials that they need: concrete, wood, all kinds of shit, just backing up over this deal. The city government allowed them to set up electrical poles to run power to the place. They're building a fence around it. Man, come on, man. So, talking about that's the reason why FEMA, okay, has no funds to help the victims of Helene and Milton. I'm telling you what they're doing right now, okay? So whatever the fuck they're talking about on mainstream media, they're lying through their face, okay? So pretty soon, they're probably going to try to enact martial law, you know, because the actions are standing in the power all day long. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And the only way that's going to happen is with martial law. Martial means warlike law, right? Where they're trying to find if they can enact the state of national emergency. And under a state of national emergency, they can enact martial law and force people into work brigades, You can force people into these FEMA camps. There's 800 FEMA camps, 800 plus FEMA camps across the United States. They're fully staffed and ready to go, and there are no prisoners. Okay, that's obvious. I'm telling you, right? For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay, so you just seen the fear on the news. Okay, the houses have been destroyed, right? And the cities are troubled. They can't get the funds for recovery, and they can't get any assistance from the government because the government is turning away the assistance on the main highway in and out of Florida, in and out of North Carolina. They've been doing this shit. They've been stonewalling aid for a week and a half, and it's all over TikTok. It's all over mainstream media, Instagram, Odyssey videos now. So whenever you get done, you motherfuckers, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And this is what the United States government is trying to get the people to do, to turn against each other. Okay, so this way they can enact national emergency. I just saw a video, Elder Yashawamba. I just saw a video last night, 44-minute video that the elder had some information concerning Gil Bates owning Tampa Bay, Florida. He owns the place now. Okay, okay. See, it's all about the lithium mining. Okay, that the United States government was covering up with these storms in order to wipe out the people and get the doomsday preppers all flooded out to where they have to leave and go into the inner cities, deep inland, and then all that land is free and clear, right? They could come down and bulldoze people's houses, homes, move cars, all that type of shit, and start lithium mining up in North Carolina and across Florida. I mean, that's the only reason why these weaponized meteorological weather modifications were done. Okay, and now we're hearing that Bill Gates owns Tampa Bay, Florida. How the fuck does that work? Okay, so I mean, come on, man. So yeah, that's basically what's going on there, right? This is what they want to do. For the sword and their destruction dwelleth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another with swords in their hands. They're trying to get the people to turn against each other. I don't think it's going to work. But like it says in, Job? Let me see if I can find that. Let's get it. Job chapter 20. Right? Oh, man, come on, man. Okay, that just popped on my screen, y'all, for real. Okay, out of nowhere. Okay, right. Job chapter 20 verse 20. Surely he should not feel quietness in his belly, he should not save of that which he desired. Okay, so Gilly Bates is not going to be able to hash out their plans for the decimation of the people, and in order to take their natural resources. I mean, this is the MO, or the modus operandum, of these Edomite devils. Okay, instead of using war, they're using weather modification, and using storms, tornadoes, typhoons, hurricanes, to go to war against the people. Okay, is what they're doing, and then going and steal the natural resources. So instead of dropping bombs and blowing up the people, like they're doing in the Western Asiatic countries, they're using weather modification. I mean, that's what they're doing, man. Everybody knows what they're doing. It's all over the fucking internet now. Everybody's got their opinion about it. It's in everybody's mouth. They can't control the narrative. I pray to the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that Esau Edom never regains the narrative, ever. And every day he tries to come up with some bullshit narrative, and the people come back and say something else entirely different. You know, you had a woman last week on TikTok that was crying her eyes out, saying, don't pay attention to the government. We're talking about we don't need your help. They're not helping us. They're not coming in. They're not bringing the food and stuff and gas and water and things that we need. Okay, you guys, if you got motorcycles, if you got boats, if you got any ATVs or anything that you can get up there to the mountains, please come and help us. That's all that one was complaining about. Okay, and now the people are doing something about it. Okay, and the government is trying to control the narrative of bullshit. Right? There shall not of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. And that's my point. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And all of these wicked Edomite devils, okay, they're coming against each other, just like it says in the biblical scriptures. Where does it say? I think it's in Isaiah. Let me see if I can, where I went the wrong way. Isaiah, was it not? Damn it. I was trying to. Isaiah, what was that? Isaiah 19, I think it was, right? Yep, Isaiah 19 and 1.
So you're too busy to read the Bible.
Man, come on, man. See, no matter what I do, there's absolutely nothing I can do to stop any of this stuff that just pops up on my screen, man. And I try to make videos, and this is the reason why it deters me from making videos, because I have to deal with all this bullshit and I don't know how to go around it. But anyway, okay, and I gotta sit up here and I gotta, you know, see what I'm saying? See, this is what I mean. This is what I gotta do. I gotta deal with this. Okay, Isaiah 19, right? The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, which is America, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, right? Hollywood, mainstream media, they're going to be shook. Oh, it's aliens from outer space, right? And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Verse 2, and my point, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, right? And the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, right? So they lost the mainstream media. They lost the narrative. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. Okay, and that's what they're going to do, you know, when the system completely shuts down. But going back here to Job, if I can get it to come back up without my screen flipping out on me again. Okay. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, right? So when he's about to think he's going to get his new world order accomplished, when he thinks he's going to get martial law enacted across the United States, or divided states, Babylon, right? He's going to fail, right? The Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he's eating. Okay, and the wrath and fury are the weapons of the Most High's indignation, which are the intercontinental ballistic missiles. So as soon as they think that they've got their Novus Ordo Seclorum, they've crowned their enterprise with success, right? That's when the Most High is going to push the button on them. They're done. Okay, on a global scale, wherever democracy is, and the angel's going to come in, swoop in, and save his people, right? He shall flee from the iron weapon. The iron weapon are these intercontinental ballistic thermonuclear missiles, and the bow of steel shall strike him through, right? And the bow of steel are the missile silos in which the broken arrows, or the arrows of the Lord's indignation, come up out of, okay? And they go through the windows of opportunity in the sky, like it says in Isaiah 34, and come down upon Idumea and the people of God's cursed to judgment. And that's his judgment, their total annihilation and destruction for what they've done to the children of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled bird that have been scattered abroad, Israelite foreigner Gentiles, that whose bloodlines go back to the fathers, to Israelites that have been scattered as foreigners living in foreign nations, right, scattered all over the world. right? That's where the speckled bird comes in. So the only people that are leaving this place are the Most High God had chosen, put, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai had put their names in the book of remembrance, right? Let's go get that. Malachi. Yeah, see, it was about to do it again. See that? Crazy. Malachi chapter 3, verse 16.
They called her fat and...
I can't win, man. I can't. I'm telling you, man. See? Right. Malachi 3 and 16. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. Uh-oh. That's a punch in the gut, Bishop Nate. His name don't matter, right? Yeah, it matters. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels. And at that day when the Most High makes up his jewels, he's going to send his son, like it says in Matthew chapter 24, verse 30 and 31, to send with the great sound of a trumpet, and send his angels from one end of heaven to the other, to receive unto himself his elect, the remnant of the house of Israel, the Zion of the Most High, right? The Israel of God, right? And on the Israel of God are those written in the book of remembrance that thought upon his name, right? And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. Right? So now you're seeing the difference between those that serve the Most High God in spirit and in truth, and those that don't serve him at all, that are serving their own belly, that are serving, themselves, trying to get the bag, 501c3 tax exemptions. Right? So, yeah, these devils are done, man. It's just a matter of time. The Most High done had enough of their bullshit and shenanigans, which is true. There's nothing wrong with that, It's time for the Most High to act, man. Because, look what he's doing look what they're doing to their own people. You see what I'm saying? And damn, really? Okay. It is drawn and cometh up out of the body. Job chapter 20, verse 25. Yep, the glistening sword cometh up out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. Right? So when these ICBM thermonuclear missiles are launched, and they're come up out of these missile silos, that's what that's referring to. Right? All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. Right? The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. That's what's happening right now. The earth is rising up against these devils on all fronts. Look at what those Israeli imposters over there in the Western Asiatic countries are doing to the people. Everybody's rising up against them sons of bitches. Okay? With that, claiming to be God's chosen people. Now, the world can see, using mainstream media, that they're not God's chosen people. Because common sense dictates that if they're God's people, they could call on God and God will fix it. Because that's been the narrative of the Israelites since the beginning. Right? They would call upon the Lord, and the Lord would come and fix it. He would come and send angels. He would send death angels. He would send evil angels among them to destroy them from within. How come they're not doing that? They're calling all these other countries to come and help them. That's how they're imposters. They're bullshit. Right? And they're using weapons. The Most High God, before the Israelites, in many stories in the Old Testament, before the Israelites went out to war, they prayed to the Lord and sacrificed unto him and told him what they needed from him. And the Most High God done it. By the time they got over there to fight war against the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Philistines, whoever that they were battling against, it's like they had already been destroyed. They were dead already. You see what I'm saying? So, anyway, but like I said before, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High God, and the heritage appointed to him by Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So, with that, I'm going to just go ahead and get off the phone. I got all these different distractions and different individuals. It's kind of hard to, to be in the spirit, you know what I mean? But I saw this video, came across my feed this morning. I thought I had to put my 2 cents in and let you know what's going on, right? So let's finish up.
2 trucks of armed militia saying they were out hunting FEMA. As a result, FEMA tells CNN they've made safety adjustments in counties where federal workers are receiving threats. While about 100 miles north of Ashe County, the sheriff there posted on Facebook on Sunday that some aid operations were paused out of abundance of caution due to threats occurring in some counties. And while aid has resumed in these areas, these sorts of incidents spurred by misinformation continue to hurt communities already in need. In the face of that disinformation, communities ravaged by Helene are still trying to heal. Communities across western North Carolina, schools in particular, remain closed largely, with a timeline for reopening uncertain. In Buncombe County, home to Asheville, some 20,000 students have been impacted. Officials there are struggling to obtain necessities like water after the storm knocked out power, a part of the county's water system. One of the schools affected is Odyssey Community School, and Odyssey's head of school, Eric Howard, joins me now. Eric, good to see you this morning. We appreciate you coming on. Tell us how things are going for your. Yeah, how are things going for your school right now?
So we're doing our best. Our families have really come together here in our community to help clear trees, purchase water totes, so we can try to establish a system to flush toilets. It's been tough going. We have folks that are still in hotels that have been supported by FEMA. So we have folks displaced. We have families that have lost their whole businesses here. So we're really coming together to really support our school and our community. We're a small art school here in North Carolina. And, you know, it's all hands on deck, and our families and folks have really been putting in the manpower and the labor to help us get school back on track. We're hoping to get started back on the 23rd. That's if we could get our water totes connected so we can at least have flushable toilets. So that's the big thing. I never thought as an educator that I would be worried about flushing toilets, but here we are.
And your school community is a close-knit one, just under 200 students, ranging from pre-K all the way up to 12th grade. Have you been able to account for all of your teachers and students and everybody who is on your staff?
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, we did lose a wonderful kindergarten teacher through natural causes during the storm, but we've mostly accounted for all of our staff and our students. We have a wonderful admin team that's we've done surveys and reached out to them either via email, text, or whatever mechanism we can find. As you all know, that power and internet and cell service got wiped out pretty bad in this whole region. So it was a struggle to connect and communicate with the school, but we were successful in finally connecting to the majority of our people and finding out where folks were.
And one of the biggest issues out there is this issue of water. You were just talking about this a few moments ago. Do you have any sense as to when some of this basic infrastructure is going to be restored?
So it could be a couple weeks. It could be as much as 8 weeks. I've heard 4 to 8 weeks. The city has been working round the clock to pressurize the system. Our last update was that they got one of the major connections made, and they're going to try to pressurize the system. Some folks are starting to see water around Asheville and Buncombe County. However, it's still contaminated, and they're advising not to drink it or to boil it. We haven't received water yet to our building, so we're going to set up the tote system to see if we can't at least start school and flush toilets and have potable water for hand washing.
All right. Well, we hope the best for you in a quick recovery as soon as possible. Eric Howard, head of school at Asheville's Odyssey Community School. Eric, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
There you go. You know, these Edomites, boy, I tell you, boy, they really trying to regain the narrative, and ain't gonna work. Okay? Because the people are sick and tired of the bullshit. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Shalom.